Hi guys, I apologize for the giant bandage on my head, just an acne thing. Welcome back to Unpopular Geek Reviews. I know I'm not trying to be a weirdo and cover acne, it got slightly infected, I'm so sorry to be TMI on this show. Welcome back to episode 2 of Unpopular Geek Reviews, my channel where I give an unpopular opinion on a movie, game, or music that I either like a lot more than someone or dislike a lot more. Basically, my unpopular opinions on said media, and I'm going to report horizontally. No, I'm not going to report horizontally. Never mind. So, yeah, basically, this is what this is. So, this is gonna be a big one today. I wanted to review this movie anyway because I have opinions on it, but once I started Unpopular Geek Reviews, which I figured I would do just because of my opinion on Guardians of the Galaxy 2, okay, this is in a similar boat, to be honest, except I think this one is far more controversial and even worse in the public eye. The Last Jedi. Unpopular Geek Reviews. Now, as you can expect from this, I really like this movie. I'm gonna do one on Avengers, and why I like it less than a lot of people do. But, I'm going to get straight into The Last Jedi. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm going to get straight into it. First of all, this film is a follow-up to The Force Awakens that came out in 2015. Absolutely loved Force Awakens when it came out. Absolutely loved it again when I watched it again in my Star Wars marathon on the way to The Last Jedi. I have a Star Wars ranking video on my channel. I have to watch Solo again, have a good opinion on it. It's not on DVD yet, so I can't watch it. Pretty nice. I have to buy it sometime because I have to get someone to buy it for me because I'm broke. Because I own all the Star Wars movies now, except for that one. I have all of them on my shelf. So anyway, and I have showed those in my DVD collection. I'm pretty proud of those movies. So, especially the special editions I have, and the limited editions I have. So, and I'm not going to go into that right now. But I will say that this movie, I loved this movie when I saw it in the theater. Now, this is a very unpopular opinion, I know, but go into it. Now, in hindsight, I've seen it 2 more times since then, and in hindsight, I can definitely see a number of problems with the film. I'm going to address some of them right now. Some of the problems that people have problems with, I understand. I understand why people don't like Rose. I personally don't mind Rose as a character, except for the scene at the end with the whole Finn and Rose thing at the end, and then they kiss and both survive. That scene is pretty bad. I will admit that straight out of the bat. Also, Leia in space. That scene is awful! I think she should have just died at one point because, of course, Carrie Fisher, but they didn't know that, so that I won't blame Star Wars for that. But I will blame them for her being Supermaning through the sky, or should I say Mary Poppinsing through the sky. Yeah, that one was a problem. The next thing I want to say is that I understand people's problems. I don't understand why people are complaining so much about the casino scene because it's not that bad. It's just a casino. Come on. I can't really be angry about a casino. Like, come on. It's okay. It's a message that I can get behind. You know, like, child labor is wrong and rich people are rich and it sucks and people exploit people. That's totally a message I can get behind. It sucks, whatever, and that we can enable the new generation. Now, one of the things I loved about The Last Jedi is the message that the Force is for everyone and not just the Jedi. And what they really push forward with the Force in this movie. People say it's not how the Force works, it is totally how the Force works. I love this. I love the light and the dark parallels. There are moments in the film which legitimately give me chills. Now, of course, I have problems with the Luke milking that animal, and the porgs are annoying, of course. They're cute but annoying. I have problems with all the petty little things that everyone is picking on, but I still think the film overall is fantastic. I mean, not quite stacked up to the original trilogy, but nothing will ever be. Everybody is just so salty about this because they want it to be Empire Strikes Back. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there will never be another Empire Strikes Back. I love Empire Strikes Back just as much as the rest of you, so, I will go straight into this movie, and some of the things that I thought were amazing about it, and, so, obviously, the scene with Yoda, woo, that one blew my mind. That scene was amazing. I'm sorry. And I loved the scene where Rey goes into the underground cave thing, and the whole thing of Light and Darkness. Rey's training is amazing. The dynamic between Rey and Kylo Ren, and that fight, oh dang, that was epic. And I really like the final fight and how they handled everything with Luke. I know the Force projection thing is a little bit wonky. People don't like, how the way the Force was being handled, but I don't mind it, okay? I know it's a bit far-fetched that he made this projection, but it's like, he doesn't die, and then he dies. Oh yeah, spoilers, BTW. But it's like, okay, I get it, but... Well, I don't get it. It makes sense for him to die. Now, people are mad that he died because they're like, none of the original characters left. They didn't know. They didn't know that Carrie Fisher was going to die when they made this movie. So they were planning to have Leia be prominent in episode 9. And I understand that that is an unfortunate circumstance for everyone, all the fans, and the actors, and the movie itself. Very unfortunate circumstance that we won't have a lot of the old actors in the movie, but that's not anything to blame them for. They couldn't predict what was going to happen with the actress, okay? So, that's honestly nothing I can really blame them for. So, going back to the other things I loved in this movie, the fact that they handled Luke's stuff, the fact that they had the double sense, the fact that he was able to die peacefully, not just get, and the Force projection thing, I thought all that was perfect. I had no problem with it whatsoever, and I am a huge Luke Skywalker fan, and don't try to tell me I'm not, just because I'm a girl, I'm a younger generation, whatever. I grew up on the original trilogy. I love the original trilogy to death. Don't try to... If you need proof, I spent actual money on the, DVD 2006 DVD limited editions with the original version on it. Yeah, okay. And yes, they're in my DVD haul video, so that should be on my YouTube somewhere. But anyway, so I really, really, really enjoy a lot of what's going on here. Now, one thing I will comment on the whole Grumpy Luke thing in a moment. One thing I'm just going to say straight out. I'm fine with Rose being a character, but the main plot of the film was kind of meh. The whole, we need fuel, let's go get this co-breaker. That thing was kind of meh. The film could have easily been a half hour shorter than it was, and it would have been just as good, if not better. I have no problems with people complaining about that sort of thing. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, it felt long and overbearing at times, especially the scenes with Finn and Rose. It just didn't really go anywhere. But I really did love what they did with Rose and her sister. I think that was cool. And I think the film is well made. People who say it's not well made is just weird. There are legitimate problems with it. I would say more so than some other movies. Force Awakens might be a tighter movie, although, to be honest, that one just feels boring because it's just a rehash of A New Hope, which is a great movie. Of course, it's slightly overrated. It could be me saying that about A New Hope just because I've seen it so many dang darn dillion times. I'm more Return of the Jedi person, I'm sorry. But, going back into this, and, I'm not, and before I go into the other thing I want to talk about, I'm not even going to bring the prequels into the equation here, because people are like, it's worse than the prequels, whatever. It's not worse than the prequels, okay? I'm sorry. And I don't hate the prequels by any means. Everything that has Star Wars on it. I have enjoyed every Star Wars movie. Okay, I haven't seen, the Clone Wars one, the holiday special, but, every, main series Star Wars movie, including the spinoffs, including Rogue One and Solo and all that. I have legitimately enjoyed those movies, and I just don't understand. So, going on about the prequels, I really like Revenge of the Sith. I'm not a huge fan of Phantom Menace: Attack of the Clones, I'm sorry. But, going into this here, one of the things I think is this film's strong suit is the cinematography and the color scheme of the white and red, just the way they did this for the marketing and for the movie itself. I have 2 posters of this movie, not big posters, mind you, because they're small. One is just a printout, and one is a, actual poster that came with the, movie tickets. So, yeah, because I already have way too many big posters, including the Avengers one, the Black Panther one, the Thor 2 one, the Star Wars, old school Star Wars one, the Zelda one, the Beatles one, the Wonder Woman one. I'm a geek, okay? Yeah, so I will say straight up that I'm planning on it. Also, somebody's giving me a Legolas poster, and I don't know where the heck I'm going to put a Legolas poster, but Legolas is hot. I know, I sound like a completely shallow human being. Legolas is hot and cool, okay, Legolas is cool, he surfs on an elephant. Okay, I'm going completely off topic here. But the dynamic with Rey and Kylo is really good. I like what's going on there. The shirtless scene was completely unnecessary, just done for the Reylo shippers. I've been an off and on Reylo shipper myself, I will say. Okay, but going back into the whole, oh, Rey's parents are nobody thing, I honestly don't think that's a problem. I think that just feeds into the theme of the Force being for everyone, which I'm totally okay with her not being related to anyone. The whole Snoke thing, I do wish they would explain more about Snoke. I hope they will in the next movie. And I will just say straight up that the stuff with Luke was a mixed bag. The ending stuff with Luke, I think they handled really well. But earlier on, the whole thing with the past and Kylo and Luke, grumpy Luke. But my dad made a good point about grumpy Luke. He said that Luke has always been whiny, okay? I mean, obviously, we all know that Luke has always been whiny brat. He's always been, I was gonna go to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. And I say this as a huge fan of Luke Skywalker. Okay, but my dad said, what do you think that whiny teenager grows up to be when he's in his 60s? I'm like, that's so true. Now, the whole thing with the Kylo Ren thing in the backstory of it, it's a bit sketchy to me. I do think it plays out well. I do think that shows some flaws in Luke's character, which I do think is necessary, because he is, kind of a bland character. I do love him. I had a serious crush on him when I was 13, but like young Luke from Return to Jedi crush, but don't get me wrong, I have a crush on John Lennon, okay? Just getting back to the story here. So basically, yeah, there's that. But I will say that, honestly, I think Rey is getting an unfair amount of flack for being a Mary Sue. I honestly think this is a gendered thing, and people are going to argue otherwise. And I'm not saying that every person who has a problem with Rey's character, including myself, she doesn't have enough personality, I agree with that, I agree that she is a Mary Sue, but it's Star Wars. Pretty much every character except Anakin is going to be a Mary Sue or a Gary Sue. It's just going to happen. I mean, Obi-Wan, like Obi-Wan, is he like, or like even Luke. Like, I mean, Han Solo is a complex character, but I'm talking about, like, the Jedi, like, the Force users, the good Force users from the, I know Qui-Gon is a Grey Jedi and all that, which is awesome. I am on the side of Grey Jedi, but seriously, ugh, the whole Mary Sue argument is getting really old because it's freaking Star Wars. We're gonna have Mary Sues in Star Wars. It's going to happen. I'm tired of people saying, oh, she's a Mary Sue, I hate her. Well, Luke is a Gary Stu, so is Obi-Wan, so stop using that argument, because when you make it sound that way, you just make it sound gendered. And I'm not trying to say that, everyone should, like, give Rey a break. I'm also not trying to go too far the other way. I'm not trying to say that everybody should just accept Rey as a character no matter what they do for just because she's a woman. I'm not trying to say that at all. But what I'm saying is that, it's the same, she has a lot of the same character problems as other characters in the past. And I'm not a big fan of Mary Sue's. I think I fell into a bit of a trope with it. I tried to get my character out of it. I do have a fan character. I'm actually planning on starting to read those stories on YouTube because I'm a huge fan of what I wrote there. And, yeah, so there's a fan character I made, and she was falling to be a bit of a Mary Sue, but I also made her, I wouldn't say she's necessarily Mary Sue. She was just boring. She wasn't good at anything, so she wasn't Mary Sue. I made her get mad and, like, stand up for herself. But anyway, that's completely off topic. So that's about all I want to say about this movie, other than that. So I really liked the majority of it. I do have legit problems with this movie. This is one of those movies where, yes, I can point out legit flaws in it, unlike something like Captain America, which I just reviewed. That one was just boring to me. This movie is interesting, and there's a lot of good stuff going on. And to me, it's more good than bad. So people who say, oh, this is a bad movie, you're perfectly entitled to that opinion as long as you're respectful of it, and don't hate people who like the movie. I think that is unfair. So that's about my opinion on Last Jedi. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, click a like, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and the next episode on this show will be the Avengers, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be an interesting one. Alright, guys, see you later.